about the match?
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw it. You get one restart goal, and a roundabout way, a PK is a restart goal. Earned PK, I'm not going to debate that. But off the run of play, I don't think we have too much to be ashamed of. We battled, we fought, got back in the game in the second half, and just couldn't turn the tide. Keeper made a couple of good saves down the stretch. It's a good team. Don't make any mistake about it. Red Bull's a good team. That's why they're Supporter Shield winners. They could weather a storm. They played some good soccer to keep us off the board. We're able to keep possession and ride the clock with a 2-0 lead. It's a good team we faced. So, but my guys fought and battled, and this wasn't enough at the end of the day.
Warren?
Brian, is it something of a moral victory for you guys to get that goal back at the end of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a moral victory to get the goal and re-energize the troops for those last 15 or 18 minutes, or what was left on the clock. But in the end, the moral victory would have been getting that second one, or possibly even a third, to win the game or tie it, and send everybody home happy. And at the end of the day, we weren't able to do it.
Next up.
So do you think you went into the position to bring a comment off the bench rather than start?
Yeah, we talked to David earlier in the week, and based on what we saw and what we witnessed in the DC away game, we felt it was better for him to come off the bench, and he came in and gave us some spark, some life. Re-energized our guys in there, and that was the reason.
Jeff?
Brian, you had a real youthful-looking side out there today. What did you see in the youth, and what does that tell you in their play for next year?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, youth, with youth comes a little bit of some naivety at times, but I think, some of the players that were out there tonight, the homegrown kids, Duty and Ship, and, unfortunately Ritter went down with the injury, but he looked to be, engaged in the game, even for the short amount of time he was in there. Khan was a little bit jittery as a young guy in there, but I think he settled in after the first, call it mistake. But there's some guys in the club that can play, there's no doubt, and that should bode well for the future for them and for our club.
Danny?
Yeah, Brian, you've seen this team. Obviously, you've been in charge for a little over a month, but you've seen, this team a great deal from, a different perspective still as a technical director. Just how do you sum up this season?
Yeah, look, when you get off to a slow start and you're chasing points right from the beginning, it's unfortunate, but losing can sometimes be a habit, just as winning becomes a habit. And we lost a lot. It was becoming almost commonplace, and you've got to change the mentality a little bit. And yeah, granted, when you lose as many games or you're dead last in the league, changes are warranted, and I'm sure we'll make some. But I've said it before that I don't think we're 10 pieces away. I think it's more like 3, 4, 5 in order to stem the tide. We lost Sean midway through the year. We can all debate on Maloney in terms of, was he playing to a certain level? Was he an average? But when you lose a player, at least of his quality, it puts a chink in the armor a little bit from an experience side of things. And a couple of injuries in the back line down the stretch. And we're kind of piecemealing a little bit, but some of the guys that stepped in and played more minutes than maybe we thought of, were going to, at the start of the year, showed that they could play now.
Shane?
Of the young guys that were out there tonight, Patrick Duty in particular did well, solid in defence and very good going forward. What do you make of his input in the game?
Yeah, I thought he was very good. I mean, he battled on that side, and I don't think that much was coming down his flank and causing us some problems, or was it causing us some problems. His contribution going forward and winning his duels and all that stuff that goes along with playing on the flank, I thought he was spot on. And I think the minutes that he got early in the year, USL, I think it was 19 or 20 matches, prepared him for this. And just like we went on the road to start my tenure, when I took over, we didn't hesitate to put him in those 2 games on the road. And he did well, and I think he did well again tonight.
Go back to Oren.
Brian, did you see the effort from the guys that you wanted to see tonight?
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. I think that Chris, Ritter went out early because we wanted to see, how he could go because he hasn't had a lot of minutes this year, or as of late, obviously. So it was unfortunate he couldn't complete the game, but we saw what we were looking for, and you know, we can go back and evaluate that and use it as we move forward.
Cameron?
Brian, what's next for you in the immediate future? I know you've got to sit down with Nelson, obviously, and talk about the steps going forward, but what are you looking forward to in the next couple of weeks here?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a end of the season evaluation, looking at the you know, just not 5 games, but the whole package of 34, and, you know, obviously, I think we've got to evaluate where we need the pieces. You know, I've got my opinion, I'm sure Nelson has his opinion, and hopefully the two of us, we agree on a lot of it, and when there's not an agreement, that's okay too, because, you know, having more than one opinion is always a good thing. So that's kind of the step, and then obviously if we can, you know, put some pieces together, you know, now rather than later, you know, to get us moving in a direction, and change is coming, and if we can start earlier rather than later, it's a good thing.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, guys.